Hello everyone, now start publishing papers. My name is Kang. Paper ID 22 APR 09. A study on the effects of virtual museum design factors on satisfaction and visit intention. Presenter Kang. 1. Introduction. On the Internet and digital technology developed, the virtual museum is operated, which provides visitors with information related to the museum before visiting the museum. However, the virtual museums currently stay on the basic service, such as offering information concerning a museum, collections, facilities, opening times, holiday guides, everything, and simple layout. Heavy and dark color and uniformity of letter make a production bad, or excessive uniformity, which subsequently makes visitor bored and does not draw a positive evaluation from visitors. Therefore, this study intends to research the relationship between the design factors of the virtual museum in national museums, the satisfaction of the visitors to the virtual museum, and the intention to visit. To the end, the study aims to suggest the following plans for the maintenance of museum and the erection of visitors based on sustainability by combining design factors that visitors can most easily recognize in virtual museum and linking them with visitors' satisfaction. First, the study analyzes the design factors of virtual museum and the main factors in the maintenance and supervision of museum to confirm whether each factor has a significant effect on satisfaction and intention to visit. Also, it recognizes the importance of satisfaction of visitors who visited virtual museum and aims to contribute to the improvement of visiting in the future. Second, the purpose of this study is to suggest a plan to squash the competitiveness of museum through the transition to the positive awareness of museum necessary for the operation, grant, and new opening of virtual museum by identifying the difference in the effect of design factors on satisfaction and intention to visit. In order to meet the purpose of the study seeks the theoretical basis of the virtual museum: design factor, satisfaction, and invitation to visit by examining documented and foreign literature and previous studies, and based on this, the study model and research objectives are set up and verified through exploration research. 2. The theoretical background. Which museum? A museum is a non-profit institution that contributes to the development of society and society by collecting, preserving, researching, and exhibiting tangible and intangible heritage of human security for education, research, and enjoyment. In addition, according to the Museum Act, a museum is defined as a fixation where historical remains, archaeological artifacts, other anthropological literature, folklore, art, animals, plants, mineral, technology, and industrial remains are collected, preserved, surveyed, researched, exhibited, and educated in order to contribute to the development of culture, arts, and science, and to the promotion of cultural enjoyment and lifelong education in the general public. In other words, museums are institutions that provide history and cultural heritage to the public in the form of exhibition. Virtual museum and become a term studying for the future museums that do not actually exist. It is an entity and a museum, but it is one virtually established on the web or mobile and is spreading in the various forms. Virtual museums are also connected the term like cyber museum, online museum, internet museum, web museum, electronic museum, digital museum, hypermedia museum, and meta museum. Virtual museum, covering all these names, can be usually defined as a space that store, display, preserve, and disseminate information on history, science, control, and arts accessible through digital media, DVDs, the internet, smartphones, GPS, portable computer, PDA, and physical exhibition space where you can experience virtual reality. Design components of virtual museum. In the early days of the introductions of visual museum. Visitors to Victor's museum will simply public relations written means such a museum guidance. The introduction is explicit and evades guidance. Recently, and hasten, the time to stay on the set has become more important than publicity. The longer visitors stay on the site, the better the museum awareness, the image of the museum, and the actual visit right. Since the virtual museum cannot see true things, the introductions of exhibits and museum surprise to achieve things is increasing due to complementary factors such as sound, video clips, and graphic processing. In the previous studies on the design factors of websites, Cha Yong-jun selected 6 components of digital design such as navigation, graphics, color, multimedia, layout, and homepage structure. Ju Myung-jin started the factor and planning, information architecture, navigation, layout, labeling, color ledge, etc. Nan Yun-yi composed of the factor with color, character, layout, prefix, animation, etc. Therefore, the study selected 4 design components. Components of a virtual museum and conducted research on the layout, color, prefix, and letters, which are considered to have the highest design concept among various design components presented in the various previous studies. Layout means arrangement, makeup, and composition, and each screen composition is one into a pyramid to induce the reader's gaze. Satisfaction. Generally, and satisfaction that people's perceived subjects is based on the perceived result. About all the design elements of visual museum need to establish physical, environmental conditions that can meet the expectation before expressions. All these things constitute overall satisfaction and be summarized, and the political concept of prediction, including the evolution of the results obtained from expressions or the satisfaction of the expectation before experience. Therefore, this study defines satisfaction and a responds to the satisfaction state of the design elements of the virtual museum and defines the satisfaction state of the design factors of the virtual museum and a judgment of the audience on whether it was provided in a pleasant and interesting level. Visiting intention. Visiting intention is a probability that an individual's beliefs of planned behavior will actually occur, and it is a special behavioral intention that the individual is visiting with intention to choose an action with the intention to visit a specific place. In general, the visiting intention is a special intention of visiting with a means to choose the behavior of visiting. Therefore, the study depends on the probability of an actual visit with the individual belief of planned behavior of the visitor after viewing the virtual museum and having satisfaction based on the definition of previous studies on the intention of visit, or the willingness of the individual to visit the museum. 3. Research design. Research module and research hypothesis. This study proves that design factors of virtual museum have a highly sensitive impact effect on visitors. Therefore, in order to suggest solutions for future development of virtual museum and the sustainability of museum, the relationships between satisfaction and intention of visit are crowding in the design factors of virtual museum is empirically analysis. For the purpose of studying the factors of design factors on satisfaction and intention to visit virtual museum, Field 1 and the following research model were proposed based on previous studies presented for theoretical background in order to empirically verify the flow of the study. Fig 1. Research model. Design factor, satisfaction, visit intention. This study proves that design factor of virtual museum and the highly sensitive impact effect on visitors. Therefore, in order to suggest solutions for future development of virtual museum and the sustainability of museum, the relationship between satisfaction and intention of visit according the design factors of virtual museum is empirically analyzed. Hypothesis 1. Design factors of virtual museum will have a signification effect on satisfaction. H1. The layout of design factors will have a positive effect on satisfaction. H2. The color of design factors will have a positive effect on satisfaction. 3. The prefix of design factors will have a positive effect on satisfaction. 4. The letter of design factors will have a positive effect on satisfaction. Hypothesis 2. Satisfaction will have a significant effect on the intention to visit. Hypothesis 3. Design factors of virtual museum will have a significant effect on the intention to visit. H3 to 1. The layout of design factors will have a positive effect on the intention to visit. H3 to 2. The color of design factors will have a positive effect on the intention to visit. H3 to 3. The graphics of design factors will have a positive effect on the intention to visit. H3 to 4. 4. The letter of design factor will have a positive effect on the intention to visit. Survey design and analysis method. The activities of purpose of this study. A survey was conducted on the subject of the survey for 21 days from January 10 2022 to January 31 2022 to getting visitors who visit the virtual museum in a national museum in Korea. A total of 400 questionnaires were distributed and 368 copies were collected. Of the collected questionnaires, 28 copies were excluded due to insincerity of responses, and 340 Wayland samples were used and did for the final analysis. For statistical processing of this study, SPSVR 22 was used, and the significance level was verified based on 1%, 5%, and 10%. The specific analysis method is as follows. First, to understand and demonstrate graphic characteristics and granular characteristics of the subject of this study, FoCoS analysis was conducted. Second, the reliability and validity of the scales used in this study were indefined through factors analysis and reliability analysis. Third, correlation analysis was conducted to diagnose mutable collinearity problem between variables before hypothesis testing. Fourth, the hypothesis verification to confirm the relationship between the variable based on the refined measurement items was verified by simple regression analysis and multiple regression analysis. 5. Empirical analysis. Validity and reliability analysis. The results of calculating correspondence a coefficient to verify the reliability of the measurement. 2. Of the composition of the variables and the variables composed through exploratory factor analysis are and follow in the table 1. The KMO measure is 917, which is close to 1. So these two can be seen and stable date for factor analysis. But letters unit matrix verification statistics also appeared to be 7382.736, which is verified that it was not unit matrix and the significance significance level 0.001. It means it is suitable for factor analysis. In addition, the Chrome-based coefficients was collapsed and the layout was 0.932, color 0.917, graphics 0.883, ledger 0.892, satisfaction 0.738, and intention to visit 0.786, out of which were 0.5 or more. Therefore, it can be said that the internal consistency of the questions of scales. Tip 1. Validity and reliability. Correlation analysis. The result of correlation analysis between the results used in this study is as follows, and the result of correlation analysis. The correlation between the independent variable parameters and dependent variables was significant, and the significance level 0.01 for both tests. Therefore, the variables used in this study are not problematic in the multiple collinearities researched in mutable regression analysis, and the stability of it can be secured. Therefore, the model used in this study is considered to be suitable for the later poses test because reliability and validity of the course are secured. Tip 2. Correlation analysis. Poses verification. The relationship between design factors and satisfaction in visual museum. The F visual of the multiple regression analysis for this 1 was 14.403, which was statistically significant, and the significance level p.01, the tolerance limit of our independence variable put into the model was close to 1, and VF was also 1 to 2, indication that there was no problem with the multiple collinearity among independent variable. The multiple regression analysis to find out the effect of two variables of design factors on satisfaction showed that layout, color, graphics, and text were all significant. So, hopefully, this one was adopted. Therefore, all the two variables of design factors had a significant positive effect on satisfaction. Table 3. Verification results of hypothesis 1. The relationships between the satisfactions and the visual intention. The F value of the sample regression analysis of hypothesis 2 was 42.634, which was statistically significant, and the significance level p.01. The tolerance limit of our independent variable put into the model was close to 1, and VF was also 1 to 2, indication that there was no problem with multicollinearity. The effect of satisfaction on the intention to visit was significant, and hypothesis 2 was adopted, and signification had a positive effect on the intention to visit. Table 4. Verification results of hypothesis 2. The relationship between design factors and the visiting intention to in Victor Museum, the F world of music regression analysis of hypothesis 3 was 1.689, which was statistically significant, and the significance level P 0.01. In addition, the tolerance limit of all independent variables put into the model was close to 1, and VF was also shown between 1 and 2, indication that there was no problem with the multicollinearity between independent variables. The multi-table regression analysis results to find out the effect of the sub-variable of design factors on the intention to visit showed that the layout, color, graphics, and the text were all significant. So hypothesis 3 was adopted. Therefore, all the sub-variables of design factors and the significant positive effect on the intention to visit. Table 4, verification results of hypothesis 2. On the visit, verification results of hypothesis 3. Conclusion. Through the empirical analysis of this study, it was found that the satisfaction with the design factors of layout, color, graphics, and letters for visitors coming to the visual muse leads to positive intention of visiting the museum, which is a foundation of the sustainability and continuous operation. Museums that operate visual museum of those that want to design new visual museum should make efforts to continually improve the design of visual museums, and operators of visual museums should continue to improve and upgrade the design to attract offline visitors, who are the direct basis of the sustainability and operation of the museum. Therefore, with the promotion of museum collections of museum-related products is very important when the operation of opening of a virtual museum is intended. The persons concerned should recognize the improvement of the design factors is an important thing to induct audience on that visit. In this regard, this study and implication in that it found out that design factors are important aspect attracting visitors and suggests the direction of maintenance and operation of museum. In future studies, it is necessary to impact the selection of objects for the operation and maintenance of private museum, not natural museum. In addition, other than the design factors presented in this study, it is necessary to conduct future research to maximize the effectivity of virtual museum operation through verification of resource design related factors. Thank you.